Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am joined by the doctor, who is in his turtleneck today, and he is looking very dignified and feeling fine, aren't you? Yes, he is. This week I will be telling you about my 33rd and 34th week of pregnancy because with the videos going up a day late here and a day late there, it's added an extra week on. So I'm currently 34 weeks and 6 days. So tomorrow I will be 35 weeks. So I thought I would do both of these videos today. So let's start with week 33. The baby was the size of a honeydew melon, and it was a fairly good week for us, although I did have something kind of scary happen. I was on the couch and realized that I hadn't felt the baby move all morning because it was one of those days where I just got up and went and didn't pay attention, and when I'm walking around I usually can't feel her. So I came home and I ate, and every time I eat, Big Bertha is like, "Food!" So I can feel her. But she wasn't moving, which was very strange for her because she loves food like her mother. So I was like, "Where are you?" So I waited a little bit, laid on my side, did my deep breathing, and still nothing. So then I started to panic a little bit. So Jared and I got a Fanta and some chocolate out, and I drank and ate both of those, laid on my side and waited. Nothing. So now I'm starting to get like a little bit nervous here. And he's, pressing around on my stomach just to see if we can wake her up a little bit. We don't know what she's doing. And I'm, of course, on Google, sorry everybody, being like, what do you do if you can't feel your baby move? And it's saying, well, you should go into the hospital. And every natural instinct of mine is to panic and go to the hospital. It's just like what I do. But I was like, okay, just calm down, wait an hour. If you don't feel her, then we'll get nervous. So I waited a bit and I waited a bit, and I felt like the time was going by so slowly. And finally I felt like a little and I was like, oh, was that you? Are you in there? So I was like rubbing her back, and she was really slowly moving. So I'm thinking she was just like straight passed out asleep. Again, like her mother, she can sleep like a champion. So it was probably the best feeling in the world, just feeling her and knowing she's like in there and moving and everything's okay. And I just assume maybe the sugar and chocolate did nothing for her because she's like, "Mom, like, we get this every day. This isn't exciting for me." Thankfully, though, her movement has been totally normal since then. In fact, it's been more so than previous weeks. It's now kind of moved into a rolling motion, and I do feel her foot. In fact, it was funny. I was over at my girlfriend Callie's house here, and she was like, "Oh, feel over here." She's always kicking right at this rib, always. And she put her hand there, and Bertha just like booted her with her right foot, and she was like, "Whoa! What is that?" She was really a little terrified, and she's pregnant too. So I was like, "Ooh, you get to enjoy this next." 33 was also a rough week for me because I had a full-on breakdown, like a crying, sobbing breakdown, panicking because I don't have anything done. But then when I have the time to do it, I don't do it because I'm tired. It's just this vicious cycle I've gotten myself into. And for those of you wondering about the nursery, I still don't have it done. I've been just having a lot of trouble getting myself going. I just want to lay down and sleep all day. And from what I've heard from other moms, they're like, yes, do that because you're not going to get to do it again for a long time. Like probably like 18 years. So you know what? If I want to sleep 12 hours, I'm gonna. So back to my breakdown. I just kind of freaked out about everything, like the birth process and how soon she's coming, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is really happening now, and I have to start preparing myself for all of these things, and how do I breastfeed, and will I ever sleep, and what will I do, and if Jeremy's in hockey season still, then it's going to just be me doing everything. So there's just like a lot of things to think about, and it kind of all happened at once. So Jeremy came upstairs, and I was just sitting there like, he was like, "What's wrong?" And so I had a little breakdown to him. He was like, "We'll be fine. We'll get through it all." Currently dealing with how we would get her passport to take her back to Canada right after she's born and all of that. So things are moving. They're moving slowly, but they're moving. And that's all that counts. Now to week 34, where she is the size of a pineapple, which I love pineapples, so it's a great week for me. This is actually cool because I had a doctor's appointment this week, and I got to bring my girlfriend, Christina, and Jeremy. They both got to come with me, and we got to hear her heartbeat for the first time with the doctor here. So that was really cool, and I was so excited that I think my heart rate was making her heart rate go really high, and it scared me because they said anything is normal from, I think it was like 110 to 160, And I look and she's at 180. And I was like, well, what's happening? And then this like alarm thing kept going off. And I was like, is she okay? Is she okay? And then my heart rate was flying. And then we established every time I looked at the screen to see what her heart rate was, it elevated. So I think I freaked myself out, which freaked her out. So then I just like had to lay there and relax, and everything calmed back down. And I had also just eaten, and we know she loves her food. So she was just like, ooh, I love food, I love food. But anyway, it was so cute to hear her little heartbeat, and she was ripping around in there. And basically my doctor here told me that an old man would have like a really steady heartbeat that doesn't fluctuate much, and he said a young boy, even though she's a girl, who's jumping up and down would have a heart rate that kind of goes up and down and up and down. So she's a young boy who's jumping around in my stomach. I also asked for my strep B at this test, and that's where they do a little swipe to make sure you don't have it, because if you deliver when you have strep B, it can be really dangerous for the baby, and I think I've read that it can even kill them. So if you do carry that, I think 25% of people carry strep B, they'll just put you on antibiotics for the delivery, and then the baby will be fine. So I had that done. I haven't heard anything back, but he said if you don't hear anything, it's likely that you don't have it. And we also got to do an ultrasound, and she's a big girl. Bertha is not messing around with her weight. She is estimated to be 5 pounds 6 ounces, and she's only supposed to be 4.9 right now. And it was really cute because he showed us everywhere where she was, and she's head down facing this way with her head like by my hip. And so he showed us her back and her legs and her femur and everything. And then I was like, well, what about her face? I gotta see her face. So he tried to get it down there so I can see her face. And I saw her in profile, and she was sucking her thumb again. And she did one of these. And I was like, she just waved at us. Oh my gosh, Bertha, you're so sweet. So it was really cute. And it appears that she has like super giant lips, or maybe it was just magnified. But either way, I was like, good job. I don't know where you got those from, but well done. So that's been my 33rd and 34th week of pregnancy. All in all, the biggest thing I can say is I've been exhausted, which we all know, and I've had acid reflux, which again, we all know and we all expect. So thankfully there's been nothing really out of the ordinary, and Bertha's doing just fine. So now I'm going to answer some questions from last week's video that you guys left on the comments. This question is from DCNTIKI, DCNTiki. Since you are Canadian citizens, do you and Jeremy plan on moving back to Canada after Jer's hockey career is done? Yes, we do. We are going to live in Canada full time, so whenever he's done playing, wherever he plays in the world, we'll always be back in Canada. That will be our home. Simply Shalb says, what's your favorite thing about this whole experience? Honestly, I have to tell you, like, I love being pregnant. I really do. And I hear people say all the time, like, oh, it's the worst. And yeah, I can complain too, like, I'm tired, my back hurts, blah, blah. But it's just so cool. And I've had such an amazing experience so far, and I feel really blessed and lucky that she's healthy and I haven't had any major issues. And I think my favorite thing in the world is feeling her kick inside of me. And especially it's one of those days and you haven't really felt her, and you lay on your side and you give her a little rub and she kicks, and it's like, hi, you're just like in a little kangaroo pouch inside my belly, and you're going to be out so soon. And I love it. So that's been my favorite part so far. Plus, I find people are a lot nicer to pregnant people. Like, when I'm waddling along behind people, they'll hold the door open for me, and everyone just like smiles and looks at my belly. It's really lovely, you know? I never really had this before, so thanks to all the nice people to the pregos out there. It makes us feel so good. Okay, Anissa Rashid says, are you scared about the pain of giving birth? Yes! Terrified. Like, super terrified. Could cry thinking about it. Yes. There's no other answer but yes. Christina Esperanza says, how many kids do you plan on having? That is a very good question. I guess we'll see how it goes when Bertha arrives. I don't know. Maybe I'll be like, oh, this is great. This is a walk in the park. But reality is I'll likely be like, whoa, what have I done? I can't do this ever again. So we'll just wait and see how it goes. Of course, we'd like to have a boy too. God willing. So we'll see. Who knows? So let's talk about my favorite subject, weight gain. We all know I'm a champ at it. At the end of my 34th week of pregnancy, I've gained 44 pounds. So, I mean, obviously, it's above where I was supposed to be by far. And we've gone through this, but I'm happy and I'm healthy and the baby's happy and the baby's healthy. I'm just going to try and keep eating healthy, limit the sweets I eat, even though it's so hard because I just want them so bad. And just get through the next few weeks and deliver a really happy and healthy baby. The craziest thing that I forgot to tell you that happened when I was at the doctor's office, he was like, so you could deliver the baby anywhere from like 2 weeks to 5 or 6 weeks and you'll be fine now. And I was like, 2 weeks? No, I'm not ready for that. Because of course in your head you just think 40 weeks, you know. So tomorrow I'll be 35 weeks. That gives me 5 more weeks to figure my life out. But then I realized it doesn't always go to plan. And she very well could come in 2 weeks and then I would be in so much trouble. I'd be in big trouble. So maybe this week I'll find that motivation just to be like, I'm getting stuff done. Everyone's going to be so proud of me. Nursery's going to be done. We'll see. Last but not least, let's check out the belly. Okay. Here's our front view. As we can see, my belly button has popped. And my line continues to get darker from the side. And the other side. It's so crazy. I still can't even believe it's me when I look at my belly. I'm like, what? How did that happen? Oh, right. I ate whatever I wanted and grew a child for the last 250 days or somewhere in there. So that is all I have for you guys this week. 33 and 34. Good weeks. Love them. Week 35, you better be just as good. And hopefully I'll have some good stories about Bertha for you next week. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Remember to like and comment, and I will answer any questions you have in next week's video. Bye, everybody.